Welcome, everyone. This is Bonnie Groessl, your host here at The Holistic Entrepreneur. Today, I'm doing an extra special episode because of all of the things that are going on in the world. And I know people are really struggling with fear and anxiety and what's going to happen with the whole, COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic. And so I wanted to do an extra episode for you with an extra angel reading because I do this as much for me as I do for all of you because I need to hear those messages and those reminders too. And then I also have something special to share with you. I'll put the link in this video as well, or in this recording as well, for it's called the Podcasters Uplifting Humanity project. JB Crum and Katie Krimitsos have put together an LP technique to help you feel more self-empowered. And then Katie does a guided meditation to guide you through anxiety and all of the sort of negative stuff that's going along with this pandemic situation. So I'm going to put the link in the show page below so that you have it. But I wanted to do this angel reading for you today. It's going to be a little bit shorter than our typical angel readings. I'm choosing, or I should say they chose me, two particular decks. One is Archangel St. Michael, which is so fitting because we all feel that we need that protection right now. And then also Archangel Raphael, which doesn't pop out to me too often, but he's the Archangel of healing. And so it makes perfect sense. And there was one jumping card, so we have 5 cards total, I think. And I've not seen these, so we'll see together what they have a message for us, reminders for us. And the jumping card came out from the St. Michael deck, and this is the card that came. It is, I love this, self-respect. And I'll put an image to the cards below so that you can download them and make them bigger so you can read the fine print if you want to. But this card of self-respect, what that's saying to me is that we need to respect ourselves as well as others in, listening to the guidelines, to do the, comply with the social distancing, not go out if you don't have to. Certainly, if you have symptoms, you're ill in any way, don't leave your house, don't go out. And if you must, use precautions, use precautions always. I was at Costco yesterday, I think it was, and I was very impressed with what they were doing. They had a team of people that were wiping down the carts before you took them so that people didn't have to do that themselves. And they had, special cleaning equipment. And I thought, things like that, we all need to be doing things like that. So if you respect yourself enough to take care of yourself, not just in social distancing and things that people are talking about, but eating right and sleeping well and not watching too much news because, it's all over, right? The numbers and the people all over the world who have passed, who are exposed and all of that, and how quickly this has grown just in the last week or so here in the US. It was started, in other countries before it got to us. But the growth pattern is scary, and it is. And so I think this card is reminding us to respect yourself enough not to overdose on that news because that doesn't help, right? We need to put as much good energy out into the world as possible for global healing. Because if we're fearful, if we're, anxiety ridden, if we're angry, if we're whatever, that's not such good energy that we're putting out there. And we get back what we put out there, right? So I would say self respect talks about respecting yourself enough, loving yourself enough to follow the guidelines and to stay healthy. You do everything that you can to stay healthy and not panic, because this isn't the end of the world. It's something that we'll get over. It's not the first time in our history that we've had a pandemic, and it won't be the last, I don't think. So we just need to adjust. So the next card that comes to us from St. Michael is your home is protected by angels. Oh, I love this because where are we told to stay? At home, if we can. So people are working from home that, normally would go into an office or or whatever to work. If you can work at home, hopefully your employer is really taking that to heart and is limiting the number of people in the office setting or company of any kind. But your home is protected by angels. Remember that. So that is your like safe haven. Make sure that you have adequate things to take care of yourselves, obviously, in your house, or get help, because there are people out there who actually don't have a job right now. The service industry has really been hit hard with all of this. And so there are people who don't have their waitressing job or whatever. They're more than happy to go shopping for you, bring you food from a restaurant or a grocery store or whatever. There is help out there, and there are more people now to help than ever. So elderly people with compromised immune systems, people who are at higher risk. Luckily, we are so blessed that the kids are not being hit as hard with this virus, which is awesome, because that's one less worry that we have, although schools are closed everywhere, which is a good thing. But I would say that your home is protected by angels. Use that. Know that you're safe there, and know that it's fine to sort of hunker down for a while. And if you need help getting supplies to you, there are people out there who will help you. There are more people out there now than there ever were, because their other jobs have gone away temporarily. So there are people there to help you. So don't hesitate to ask for help. And then explore your options is the next card, which really sort of ties into all of this. I mean, I think however the angel reading goes, whatever cards pop out to me, it always tells a story. So we're asking to respect ourselves enough to, listen to what people are saying in terms of the CDC and things like that. Follow those rules, respect yourself enough. And it has to start with you, because if we all do our part, we'll get through this like we've gotten through other things in the past, and how we will get through things in the future. This is not the first time, nor will it be the last. And then we went to your house is protected by angels. So that's your safe haven. Stay there. Stay there if you can. And exploring your options is, and maybe, what I'm getting from this card is, for all of us, this is a message for all of us, but also maybe for some employers. Because is there a way that your staff can do things from home, can do things online, can, whatever, so that they don't have to come into the office, and you can limit that number to 10, as we're supposed to do. So there are lots of options out there that we haven't even touched the surface of. And really, imagination, you're only limited by your imagination, right? So that is a great message for all of us, certainly, but particularly those of you who are maybe concerned about how you're going to get your work done, or how you're going to get your group of people together. Maybe they can do some of those things from home or virtually. Schools are starting to look at that with online teaching, because they don't know when they're going to open again for sure. I think there's a April 13th date floating around here in the state of Wisconsin, but I don't know what other states are doing. But to sort of be prepared, because exploring your options helps you to be more prepared, to know that there are more things available, and then it doesn't seem so scary. So I think that's a great reminder for all of us. And then we were just talking about this. This is a card from Archangel Rapheal deck. We were just talking about children, about kids, how this particular virus is not affecting kids as drastically as older adults and people with compromised immune systems, as I mentioned. And that is such a blessing. That is such a blessing, because the children are our future. And so your children, I mean, although they might get sick, or they might even get the coronavirus, but they're not going to generally. I mean, I think there's been maybe one or two deaths in children under the age of 19 so far in the globe, in the world. So it's not hitting that population as hard, which I think is such a wonderful blessing. Being a grandma myself, oh my goodness, that is like the best piece of news for all of this to me. So our children, keep them safe, keep them healthy. Don't let them get exposed to anything. But I think the angels and God are the universe, whatever your belief system is. I think they're being protected. Kind of goes along with that whole St. Michael protection piece. And then the last card that comes to us, I love this. Use your natural healing abilities. We all have healing abilities. And something as simple as your thoughts. If you focus on the negative, you're fearful, if you're thinking worst case scenario, that's not using your natural healing abilities the right way. So thinking of how you want it to be, pretending as if, praying rain. I mean, there's a years ago when Mike and I had a trip to Kauai, which we've been going every year. That was the year, and I don't remember what year it was, of the tsunami from Japan. And we thought, okay, everything's going to be destroyed on the island. So what we did was we prayed rain. We imagined the beaches being the same, people being the same, everything was the same. And I don't know if it made a difference or not, but it certainly didn't hurt. And everything was the same when we went back. So use your natural healing abilities, even if it's, I mean, just to, it's so powerful to just imagine what it is that you want. Imagine as if it's already here. So put, you know, no date on it necessarily, but just imagine what it feels like when we can, go back to your favorite restaurant to go out for dinner. You can, get together for weddings and social events and those kinds of things. Imagine that. Imagine how that feels and that it will be. Know that it will be, because if you imagine it and you say on the other side, oh yeah, that's never going to happen again, it's never going to be the same. I don't know what the future is going to bring, but it doesn't hurt to imagine what it is that you want. That's a natural healing ability that we all have, that we should all be using, like all the time, every day, because the more positive energy we put out there, the more good thoughts we put out there, we get what we expect, right? So expect the best. That's what this card says to me. So I think this has been a wonderful message in this time of this stressful time, this time of uncertainty, of not knowing, what's really going to happen. To honor yourself, respect yourself enough to take care of yourself. Listen to what the officials are saying, and don't go out if you don't have to, because your home is protected by angels, right? So use that as your safe haven. It's a wonderful place to be. And then explore your options, because that opens up possibility, and possibility helps us to feel better. I think it does for me anyway. The more that I know that there are options, that there are possibilities, that really anything's possible as long as you believe in it and believe in yourself, I think that just in and of itself helps to quell the anxiety and the fear and all of that. And then your children, somebody's watching out over them, and protect them. Don't let them get exposed, keep them inside too, and all of that. And the schools are doing a great job with that, with closing school for a while. But it's such a blessing. So remember that there's always some sort of silver lining in everything. And maybe that's a part of it here, is that by and large, our children are the least at risk. So take care of them, but know that there's it's not just us that's taking care of them. Somebody else is too. And then use those natural healing abilities. That reminder for all of us. If you're a person who does, healing work like Reiki or energy work of some type, or, there's a bazillion things you could be doing, that's great. Use those things. But if you don't, we all have the ability to imagine what it is that you want, to know, to believe, to feel like it's here right now. That's something we can all do. And so I leave you with that. And I'll put the link to the additional NLP technique that JV Crum shares with you, and also Katie's guided meditation in the link in the show page below. And I'll put it for the video of this. I'll put it in the description for the video so that you can click on it and link and listen to those as well. If you find them helpful, listen to them frequently. If you don't find them, if they don't resonate with you, that's fine. But I'm putting it there for you so that the more tools I think that we can give people in this time of uncertainty and all the stuff that's going on, I think the more tools you have, the better equipped you are, and the easier it will be, and the outcome will be, I think the outcome is going to be even better than we think. And I know that's just me. I don't think I have being a Pollyanna, although I don't think it's a bad idea to wear rose-colored glasses your entire life, which I try to do. So put that positive energy out there. Share that positive energy from afar, from a distance, from the comfort of your own home. The fact that we have social media and access to that is amazing. We can still connect with people. So, hopefully the internet isn't going to crash because so many people, so many more people are using the online stuff. But we don't have to be, we don't have to feel so isolated because there's that for us. That's another blessing. Oh my goodness. 30 years ago, we wouldn't have had that. So it's a blessing. If this was going to happen at any point, and for us to come through it with shining colors, now would be the time, right? Because there's comfort in your own home. You're safe there. As long as we listen to what the officials say and we do the social distancing and we're careful in the hand washing and I saw a meme on Facebook the other day, and I have to share this with you because I just thought it was hilarious. It was Kermit the Frog, and he was saying, "Oh, the CDC wants us to wash our hands." And then the bottom of the page said, "What were we doing before? We should always be washing our hands and practicing good hygiene." I mean, that kind of goes without saying. So all of those things to take care of yourself, but no, you are never alone. You are never alone. So even if you're living by yourself in a house, you can use social media to interact, and the angels, the guides, God, the universe is always there, is always with you. So you are never, ever, ever alone. So I hope this was helpful for you. I'll put the links in the show page below, and I'll be back for the regular show on Tuesday of next week. And until then, blessings, everyone.